I think there's a very big misconception in where people think we
Mhm.
just rush sites and rush up wherever we want to go. But
Yeah,
honestly, yeah, we did do that in the beginning, but we did change it up. But I feel like we have a lot more gears, you know what I mean? We have different gears. We can go fast, we can go slow. We know when to go
yeah,
fast, we know when to go slow depending on all the abilities that they have and this that. But yeah,
yeah.
I feel like we're like an all-around team now, I feel.
What's up everybody, that clip right there was what inspired me to make this video. This video is to dispel the notion that FaZe Clan have no concept of tactical FPS. I'm going to show you how they default on Haven against T1, a team with boatloads of experience. Let's get into it. The first round I have for you guys here is the third round of T1 versus FaZe, where it's FaZe's first gun round and T1 are still on a bonus after winning the pistol. So their default is Marv is on long C, Corey's on grass, and you have the main firing squad here of Baby Bay, Zachary, and Rockus trying to get sewers control. Let's see how this plays out and what are their protocols. So it's a 1-1-3 by the way, where these two players, their purpose is to basically wait for T1's reaction after the main firing squad does their work. So there's a recon arrow long A, there's a cloudburst cross. T1 can confirm that BBB has crossed towards sewers. And what happens next is Rockus is going to drone long A to see if anybody else is pushing up, and also to zone out Spider from this upping angle. As you can see, Spider backs off after getting scanned, and dazed, he drones himself also into sewers. But all he spots here is BBB into sewers, which he already confirmed was sewers, so he didn't gain much value from that. And there it is. You have FaZe gaining sewers control, they've gained map control, and what that does, it denies information from the A players. I'd say in more traditional comps, where you have a Cypher on Haven, you'll cage across, you'll have a camera on sewers, and that's your way of denying information. But FaZe here, without a Cypher, what they do, they actually commit bodies into gaining map control and denying information. That's their way of doing it, and it works out really well in this round. The next sequence, I'll speed it up a bit. You have Rockus going towards mid to help Corey get mid control. So what happens is, slow it down. You have Corey, he's taking a straight up duel here in garage. You know how it goes, it's Spectre versus Vandal. Vandal wins, and that solidifies his position for mid control. You'll see here it's a really small detail, but Marv T smokes window once again, and that's to give all these different signals for T1 to process, where this smoke is to deny information from the B rotator. So let's say Scott was going into garage here to regain control, let's say. Well, he's kind of discouraged to do so with the smoke there. But a very good rotation from Kree here happens, where he leaves the C site, he goes into connector, into garage, and he can confirm that there's nobody else into garage. Because another, I guess, conclusion they could have had was, we've lost a garage player and maybe a C split is coming. If Kree was passive on C, let's say. That could have been a logical conclusion, but Kree instead, he takes the challenge, he gets the knowledge here that there's somebody else garage. And at this point, what FaZe is going to do is they have the man advantage, they have the advantage of map control, and their call is to go towards that map control where they're going to split A here. And what's important to note here is also that they paused. They got the first kill, by the way, at something like 53 seconds left into the round. That was first blood, and all they do is basically group up for the next 20 seconds and let T1 react to what's going on here, because the pressure is on. They've lost map control, they've lost a man in garage, and they have to do something to either equalize the numbers or get some information. So you'll see here that exact reaction happens. So again, this is FaZe's patience getting rewarded. This, from the naked eye, this looks a bit stupid by Curie, but it really isn't. There's 30 seconds left into the round. You're at a man disadvantage and you really want some information. You're desperate for it. TA players aren't going to fetch it for you. You have to get some information elsewhere. There's a world where he gets a timing onto FaZe, let's say, and he actually lurks behind them since there's no tripwires, since there's no Cypher on FaZe. So I really commend this effort and his previous rotation. I think he could have asked for Ska for a flash here in an ideal world, but I guess he just wanted to be sneaky about it. At this point, the round is over. 8 spits coming in, 3 long A, 1 sewers, and Marv is going to do this beautiful blind from Omen here. If you ever play Omen on Haven, by the way, and you're taking A, just do this flash, please. It's the best one. So you hit pocket, and you also hit the site here. Dazed gets 1, but, you know, the site is under siege here, and they lose the site, they lose the round. So what happened here was a very textbook round where FaZe they default by gaining map control early. They then secure mid control, they stay patient, they get a pick, they group up. It's just textbook and it's beautiful to watch. The second round we're gonna break down here is a round right after the one we just analyzed, which is round number 4, where FaZe they're going to default once again, but this time T1 they're broke. Basically, at this point you have to treat it as an anti-eco, and we'll see how FaZe they have variations to their default, which is really nice to see because they're cognizant of the opponent's economy. So you see here that they take the long A engagement instead of the short A engagement. There's 2 zones that FaZe avoid at all costs this round. It's sewers and garage. Why? Because Buckies, Shorties, Classics, Frenzies are super lethal in these areas, and it makes it a 50-50. So why take a 50-50 situation when you have the superior weaponry? So they take long A control with 2 players, and instead of droning long A, Rockets is going to drone sewers here. And you're going to see a bit of an oopsie by Spider. I swear for Sheriff, he gets both kills here. Unfortunate. First blood comes in, there's a 1 minute 24 left in the round here. You have map control, and you have a man advantage. What do? 1, you pause, and 2, you group up. So pause because, like I said in the other sequence, these 2 players here, so Marv and Corey, all they're doing is they're waiting for a reaction. After losing a man in A lobby, maybe T1 they call for a mid push, a garage push, a C push, and these 2 players are basically a safety net for map control. They deny T1 map control from these 2 areas specifically, for example. So the call here after this kill is to speed it up a bit. Is to basically group up long C. You're gonna see here they're gonna execute long C at something like 48 seconds left into the round. So that shows you, 1, they take their time, which is a very good thing, and also they understand that in a default, and this is a lesson for all of you, in a default these 2 players they wait for reactions, yes, but another purpose is to act as a pivot for your offense in the mid round. So having these 2 players here, it allows this group of people to be able to transitions in other parts of the map. Let's say hypothetically, let's say Marv was grass here, okay, with Corey. I feel there's a world where whoever you play, you could have somebody push up long C from T1, something like a Bucky here, or let's say there's somebody with a Sheriff, he pushes long C, and he gets to this point where he can basically shoot the rotation here. So for example, these 2 are backing off and they're caught off guard with a guy pushing long C. So just having these 2 people alive the whole round is such good value, and trust me, if you're one of those players that plays D1 in the 1-3-1 and you're staying alive, trust me that you're doing your job, and that's all that matters. That's it for this impromptu video. I hope you've learned a thing or 2 about defaulting, map control, time management, or anti-ecos. You can try out this very default in your own games, but also the fundamentals that I've stated. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is your boy Karasu, thanking you for watching.